Okay, so I have been just like getting this pull to record this video. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to say, but I knew that I needed to record it. So I've been, like many people this year, going through some big shifts in my identity and really stepping into another level of power, I will say, and I don't wanna use, like, kitschy marketing language and anything, but it's been a massive internal shift, and it isn't a new thing. I mean, I've been going through this for several years, like many of you. I'm on this journey of, personal development, growth, as I also develop in my professional career. Personally, I am also growing. And, as part of that, I've had a lot of reflection about what has made me most successful in my business, in my life, because and what my clients really want the most from me. And oftentimes, what I've found with with my clients and those that have been the most successful is the reason they're coming to me is because they look at my life, and they want that for themselves. And that's I'm not saying that in a way where I have like flashy cars and private jets, that kind of like very fake, marketing kind of look at my life thing, but they look at I'm traveling with my husband. I'm working from my yoga mat, which I'm literally sitting on my yoga mat right now. I'm living my life in a way that's really authentic to what I set out for in the first place. I'm living a life that I love ultimately, and that's been happening for several years, even before the money was there and the business success was there. And it was in large part the reason that I started my business because people kept asking me like how I did it, and they were just saying, I wish I could do that. And the thing is you can have an amazing life, and you can have a really successful business. Last year was my most successful year in business yet, even though personally I was going through a lot of things. Um, but my life was still great, even though I was going through those things, and the money kept flowing. And last year, we spent like 6 weeks in Hawaii. We spent a couple of months in the Virgin Islands, in Puerto Rico. I spent a month in Bali. We were traveling around, Nevada, Arizona, all over the western part of the U.S. And I was literally living my dream life. And my marriage in that time, in the last year especially, has also just blossomed. And I've been with my husband for, oh, 23 years. We've been married for, it'll be 17 years this year. And my marriage is like, it's the like physical aspects of where you are, in the honeymoon stage, but connectedness, like just in a way that I have not experienced in my marriage. And so kind of coming back to what people really have wanted when they've worked with me, it's the combination of all of that, right? The money, the ease in life, the love. I've had not not when I first started, but during my journey, I've also lost a lot of weight. I've got my body in, so much like it's unrecognizable to the person that I was 10 years ago. Um, and so I've been reflecting a lot lately on what it is that has brought me to this point in my life where I'm literally making more money than I ever thought possible. 10 years ago, I didn't think that the life that I had, the life, the money, the marriage, like the body, like all of it, I did not believe that this was something that I could have. You can see me getting emotional here because I didn't know how. I didn't think, that wasn't what I grew up with. It wasn't what I had experienced. So I've been reflecting a lot on my own life because I too have gotten distracted, throughout this journey by money, by the drive to do more, to achieve more, to a point where, even though I built this, I too like got to a point where it's like I was just focused on the business and I would get away from that amazing life. And, there was this push pull during many parts of my business where I would get those glimpses back too of just the reminders of like, this is what you've built. And when I would get pulled away from really being able to see what it was that I had, that would be when scarcity would come up. That would be when money slowed down. And it would be when I started going into a really like unpleasant place in my business to the point where I felt like I just wasn't even living like what I had built this amazing life. And then I got caught up in my business and just like trying to achieve more, to reach more, even though I was making more than I ever had believed I could, even though, I had this beautiful life, it wasn't enough. And there was always wanting more. And throughout this journey, these things that I had built, even I wasn't enjoying them. And I remember, on multiple occasions, my husband just saying, like, I just want to spend more time with you. Like, can you just not work so much? And I used to get annoyed, like, you don't believe in me, or, I just need to do this thing. And then I'm gonna be making, this much more. And it doesn't matter how much it was. There was always this like, I'm just gonna keep doing it. And then I would get there and we'd enjoy it for a little bit, but then it was like I couldn't stay settled. So I would just keep going and going. And I see this in so many of my clients, which is why I wanted to record this video, is because I've been there myself. I would say this last year, I've really let so much of that old version of me fall away. And I wanted to just record this video to reflect on that, because I think so many women can resonate with this story of, I've built it, I have the success, and it just now it feels empty. It's like it's not enough, and I just need to keep going. And that's why we keep in this cycle. But there's so much deeper there. It's really getting to the root of why does it not ever feel enough? Like for me, it's like you built this amazing life. You're doing all of these things that you set out to do. You have your everything in your life was doing like better than ever before, and it still wasn't enough. And I had built up this business around me where I could no longer really truly enjoy everything that I was building. And it was the deeper work that was necessary, because I had the successful business. I had built everything up around me, but it still didn't feel like I was living the life that was true to me. I still felt like I was holding back in aspects of my life, and I would find myself, um, just feeling this need to put on a certain facade to fit in, to keep it going. And that wasn't there when I first started my business. And I think that so many of us really just get pulled into this, but I don't want to blame the industry, because the thing is it's not the industry. It's not the comparison, right now. And that's happening and like going on social media. It's the reasons behind why we end up in these cycles, right? Why we can achieve so much and have this beautiful life on paper, but then still feel like it's not enough, and then continuing going, where you like literally build up a prison around you. And I had a little personal like glimpse back to this recently. And I had like a few good months, and even like to the point where like I had done over $200,000 in sales in a month. And all of a sudden it started to kind of slow down again. And then I started to feel myself going back into that hustle. And it was right there in that moment. I'm like, this is it right here. It's like this feeling of, but what if I lose it? What if I can't hold this? What if? And it's really being, I had at that moment that realization of like, no, like, like you have the evidence, you have the proof, and you don't have to do this. And I was able to really recognize the emotions that I was experiencing, and to reflect on what had happened that had kind of set me back into an old paradigm. And I like had started finding myself like just becoming more defensive with my husband again, even though it had been really amazing. Like for so long leading up to that. And I just felt like those triggers. And the thing is understanding the emotions that lead to the triggers, and then being able to know how what they're there for and to alchemize them. Like that has been one of the most powerful things for me. And I don't want to, like it's not as sexy as let me just like show you this 20-point strategy or whatever to make $1 million, because that's I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to teach you is to do this long term, to have a life that you love, to have a really fucking great marriage, to feel healthier than you've ever felt in your body, to have the ability to travel, to invest in things that you want, to live the life you want, to record videos that work from your yoga mat. Like I literally just finished a session with my yoga instructor. um and yeah, like if that's what you're looking for, I'm definitely your person. And for me, I just wanted to leave you, I guess, with this question of, you know you might be making money, right? Or maybe it's actually slowed down, because I know a lot of people that's happened for recently. I think that's happening in large part because you need to actually take this glimpse inside, like, and ask yourself, is this what I want? The way that I'm running my business, the way that everything feels right now, long term, is this the vision of what I had? And like, even just ask yourself, 1 year from now, if I'm in this exact same position, things are going exactly the same as they are right now. And I'm not talking about if I'm making the same amount of money, like, I'm talking about it all: the life, the money, the marriage, the health. Are you happy with the way your life is right now? And if not, 1 year from now, how are you going to feel if nothing has shifted, if nothing has changed, if you're still in this cycle? And I know that this is can invoke a lot of emotion, this question for a lot of people. So if you ask yourself and you really reflect on this, I would love to hear from you, have a conversation. So feel free to send me a message wherever we have connected, or we are connected. And if this resonates with you too, I would also love to invite you to join me inside my Unleashed and Authentically Expressed community. It's a free community over on Telegram. And I'm definitely like bringing, not videos usually, but audio riffs, content, different events that are for that community only, as well as special offers to work with me and invitations before I release things to the general public. So I would love to have you in that space. And again, there's never any pressure with me to buy. It's more, I really think that more women need to understand this, because for me, for a long time, I thought there's something wrong. It's like, for a while it was like, why am I not making as much as everybody else? And this is, I'm making more than I ever thought, but it was just never enough. So if you find yourself, feeling that, I want to create a space for women like us, high achievers that have achieved a lot in our lives, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your career, or your career before your business, and you're still working on the business. This is the space for you. So please come join me in Unleashed and Authentically Expressed. And if this resonated with you at all, I would just love to have a no pressure conversation here, the reflections that came through for you. So I will talk to you very soon. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If this resonated, of course, like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave comments. Um, because I just really, really love to know when this is resonating, and it helps me to kind of draw from your energy and know what you'd like to hear more of. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you very soon.